Hey everybody, how you doing? Momo from TheMomoZone. Today I'm going to talk about a few different things. Let's start off with something that I'm going to call acceptance, right? And that is that accepting that good stuff is allowed to happen to you, okay? Now that sounds kind of maybe crazy. You know, you say like, why wouldn't I want good stuff to happen to me? That's because some people are into self-sabotage. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are into self-sabotage. You know, I can't tell you how many people that I've spoken to, you know, that are just ruled by the fact of how much money they have. You know, and I find that, you know, unless you're born into it, you win it, then you steal it, you got to earn it, right? And a lot of people, they just seem to base their whole life, oh man, I'm never going to be rich. I'm never going to be able to get anything I want. But this is really not what everything is about. Before the money comes the goal. Like, why do you want money? You need it, you have to have it, you want to up your lifestyle. Really, like, what is it? People just seem to look at stuff as just like, it's like cold hard cash. It's like, this is the cold hard fact. This is what it is. Sure, that's life. You know what I mean? But you got to accept that you deserve this money. Because if you don't accept it and you think that everybody owes it to you, then you're not going to get it. Some people might, but I find that, you know, in my incidents and a lot of friends of mine that I know, you know, at one point you understand something. A lot of it's got to do with age. I mean, hell, I mean, not all the time. I mean, you look at those guys who built YouTube, they sure sold that for a pretty penny, right? And these guys are like, they're under 30. There's a lot of really intelligent, young people out there who are really, really successful, and I've made billions and millions before their 30s, in their 20s. Does that make them a better or worse person than you? No. I think that you have to accept that good stuff can happen to you. So that means a good relationship, a solid foundation, right? It's like anything else. It's like a house. If your foundation is shaky, then it's only a matter of time before the whole house crumbles. That's why. There's you. There's the person you're with. Everybody's in a relationship, whether it's a friend or a lover or a wife or an ex or two exes or whatever. And then there's something called time. And you have to take all these elements and you have to divide them into 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And you're left with your life. And you generally decide what happens with those times, the hours, the minutes, the seconds. And sometimes you say, well, I had to do this. And then you can look back and you can regret. Regret, that's a whole other subject, right? Let's try to never regret stuff, because everything should be a learning experience. And everything should be a lesson to getting to the next level. I just don't believe that, you know, people who don't strive to get to the next level of themselves without being told is the right thing to do, you know? You need to want to do it for yourself and for the people that you're with and the people that you love. People who wait for people to tell them what to do are really not saying that good is allowed to happen to me, because they're waiting. They're being controlled. Or what? Are they lazy? Are they just floating in air because they haven't exercised their mind enough to have the power to think of doing something without somebody telling them to do it? That's an amazing thing. See, because in a day you have X amount of time, but then what happens if you have free time? What do? You sit down, you watch TV. You know, I mean, sitting down and watching a funny show for an hour and laughing your head off, I mean, that's good. That's therapy. That people need that stuff. But let's say if you have some time, you have other opportunities. Will you go out and seek and search for something that you don't have or that you don't know in order to better your life and the people that you're with. That means that if you do that, you're accepting that you can go further and good will happen to you. You know, again, I'm going to say that I'm not saying that everybody doesn't wish good upon themselves, but it goes a lot deeper than that, because if everybody wished good upon themselves, they wouldn't be doing so much harm to themselves every day, you know? And this is really the point. So accept that good is allowed to happen to you, and I assure you that it's going to come to you. Because, you know, I'm not Bible thumping on anybody here. Like, you know, hope and belief go a long way. It's hope, belief, and focus. You have to know what you're hoping for and what you believe in, and be specific, very specific. Little things matter. You know, it's like music. You know, I like to tell people who don't understand nothing about music. They think, oh, it's all so fucking complicated. Look, you got a beat, right? You need a bass line. You need a guitar, and you need one more element to give you a 3D type of a little extra melody or something, and you need a vocal line, right? 5 things that construe and make up a song. I mean, all you have to do is be able to do that for 4 minutes once, and you have a song. But most people, when they listen to music, they don't necessarily, unless you're a musician, they're not listening to the bass separately, the drum separately, the guitar separately, to see how the architectural thing comes together in order to make them understand, oh, that's how you play music. Even if the bass line was just doing like 2 notes, the whole song, like a lot of hip hop stuff, for instance, which is great sounding stuff, there's not that much music in it when you listen to it. Just great sounds, limited amount of playing in a lot of cases, and it's just great lyrics and great melodies and hooks. And it's something that, yeah, you're born with, but it's something that you can understand and develop and use for another purpose. Because when you can dig in that deep and pay attention to detail, is what I'm saying, then that applies to everything. Building a business, building your relationship, building your future. So that's it for today. Short but sweet. Accepting that good stuff is allowed to happen to you. Just be good to yourself on that level. I know some people are really hard on themselves, but if you keep saying that, nah, I can't do this, and nah, he's shit, or you're doing this to someone else, you know what I mean? Then you're not letting them open up and spread their wings and fly with their goals and their ideas. And it's okay if they fall, and it's okay if they make mistakes, but that is how you figure out what the hell it is you really want to do, you know? And you've got to accept that it's coming to you because you deserved it, not because you've expected it. You know what I mean? The expecting part, some people can do that through experience. In general, I find, you know, and I'm addressing really people who feel unsatisfied with themselves, you know, because feeling satisfied with yourself means that you've accepted yourself for who and what you are, with your defaults, with all your good points and your strong points. That's another thing. A lot of people tend to look at their bad points before they look at their good points. When their good points will usually cancel out their bad points, you know. And if you can't do one thing in one way, you can do it in another way for sure. You see what I mean? There's no way you can't do this. So be good to yourself, and remember, you got to accept that good is allowed to happen to you, and it will. Peace out. You're on the Momo Zone. Thanks for watching.